These are my official picks for UFC 279 at the Meta Apex. Kyoji Horuguchi versus Manel Kape. I will be breaking down the fights from the early prelims all the way down to the main event, starting with Shane Collins versus Otari Tanzilovi. Starting off with Shane Collins, he's an undefeated prospect, and he's the favorite in this fight. He's at minus 180, while compared to Otari is a plus 150. I think Otari as the underdog is kind of a sneaky pick, but I'm going to get into that in a second. But with what I'm about to say, you might be saying, sounds like you're going for Shane Collins. Shane Collins is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. The last 2 coming by first round TKO, one of them over Talon Hammonds and the other over Tyler Miller. Then he had a decision against Eli. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. In 2025, knocked out a guy named Cody Vogels in 2025, and submitted James Gudery in 2025. So, listen, his last 5 fights, looking pretty good. He's been getting them out of there for the most part, besides Eli. While his opponent, Otari, has been taking these guys to decisions. But, now, listen, this was in 2022. But he knocked out 2 guys. One of them, Eduardo Denise and Mohamed Dalvand. Both of them KOs. And then he went on a little bit of a boring streak. He got a decision in 2023, lost a decision in 2024, came back against Guillermo Torres in 2025 with a decision of his own, which got him the win. So it does seem like Shane Collins is the one to go with here. But the opponent's record that Collins has been going against is 23 wins and 12 losses of his last 5 opponents' combined record, while his last 5 opponents have the record of 34-8 combined. Sorry. So it seems like Otari is going against tougher competition. He's still able to get KOs over these guys, even though his last KO was in 2022. But I just think he's going to get it done. I mean, he's been in there longer. He has more of a gas tank from what I'm seeing in these last couple fights. He's going to be ready. He's going to be strong. What is this at? Is this, let me see what the weight class is at. This is at, if it wants to tell me, featherweight. So these are not the biggest guys. And am I scared for Otari's chin? Not really. He's never been KO'd. And he's been going against guys with more experience and more fights and more wins than losses. While Shane Collins, his opponents are basically win 2, lose 1. And that's not the best thing you want to see going into the UFC. Both these guys are making their UFC debut, by the way. So this could go either way, if I'm being honest. It just depends on who can get going first, or if Otari can drag this fight into the later rounds, maybe even gas out Shane Collins and take a little crafty 29-28 decision. That's my pick. I think Otari is going to get this done via a 29-28 unanimous decision, maybe a split decision. It depends on if the judges see it some other way, but I think it's going to be pretty competitive, but a clear Otari win. Moving up the card, we got Carol Rosa versus Luana Santos. Carol Rosa and Luana Santos. Listen, I'm not going to lie. Luana Santos apparently has an OnlyFans. I haven't looked at it personally. Let me know if it's good. Anyway, Rosa's last 5 fights, she's 3-2 in them. Her last one was in 2025, and that was by a decision. Let me see if that was a split decision. I believe, no, it was a unanimous decision. Was it 29-28? No, it was a dominant win, apparently. According to one of the judges who had it 30-26, while the other judges had it 29-27. And that was against Nora Connolly. And then before that, she lost to Aylin Perez. Not a bad loss at all. Aylin Perez is a very good loss to have on her record, as weird as that might sound. And if we're looking at Luana Santos, she's 4-1 in her last couple fights. Her last win was against Melissa Croden at the end of 2025. So she's going to be a little bit more fresh compared to Rosa, who fought in August 2nd of 2025. Now, like we did with Shane Collins and Otari, we're going to look at their combined records now. So Rosa's the last 5 opponents' combined record is 64-26. That's 71%. And let's look at Santos's, who's 41-14, and that's 75. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt here to Carol Rosa. I'm guessing she's been going against people with more credentialed resumes in the UFC, more experience in the UFC. It seems like she's been here for a while. She's 31. She's experienced. She has 12 fights in the UFC. Santos has half that. So yeah, Rosa does have the experience. So let's get into the stats here. The stats. Rosa seems to be much more of a striker. She throws about 6 strikes per minute, but Santos' defense is amazing. She only absorbs around 2.7 strikes per minute, while Rosa's there to be hit. I mean, she absorbs just as much as she's given. I mean, she absorbs 5.61 strikes per minute, but Rosa does have better striking accuracy. But the game plan, or what it comes down to here, is the grappling. This is a very 50-50 fight. We've seen Luana Santos just take her opponent down and coast to an easy decision, kind of like an Aylin Perez. Aylin Perez is much more active when she takes her opponents down, don't get me wrong. But they're both completely fine with just getting a takedown, moving a mount, half guard, side control, and just coasting the round. This is where I think it's going to get changed. I don't think this one's going to go to decision. I think Aylin Perez, she's going to take her down, and she's going to go for her submission. She's attempted 5 submissions so far, and every single time she's gotten the submission off, while Carol Rosa, she's been submitted twice in her career. And she's been taken down for 16. Santos has been able to hold her opponents down for almost half an hour, and she only has, how many fights does she have? And she only has 12 fights to her name, and half of that is in the UFC, which is a very impressive stat. I think the only thing Santos needs to worry about is the initial pressure from Rosa. If Luana Santos is able to shoot a perfectly timed takedown, I think she's going to take down Carol Rosa, lay inside control, maybe half guard for a little bit, transition to a submission, and get the submission in round number 1. I could see this going to a round number 2. I think if it's a round 3, I think Luana Santos is going to be much more in trouble. I think she might even lose a decision if it goes into round 3, because I just don't see her getting submission when her and her opponent are both just extremely sweaty, extremely tired, maybe even bloody, depending on how this fight goes. But yeah, I think give me Luana Santos via first round submission. Let's go with like a mounted or inverted triangle. Maybe even an armbar. I think she's going to tap Carol Rosa out, and I think she's going to call out Aylin Perez on the microphone, get these two OF women in a cage fight, no clothes. Let's make it happen. Moving up the card, it is Leon Shabazian versus Levin Chikoli. Let's start with who I think is going to lose this fight. I think Shabazian is going to get absolutely chinned by Levin. But let's go over it. Shabazian has a ton of submission wins. In his last 5 fights, 4 of them have come by submission, but he did lose one of those last 5 fights, and that was by KO. And if I'm being honest, this guy seems a little chinny. I mean, he's been KO'd 4 times. He's only won by KO 1 time, and his combined record of his last 5 opponents, 43-28. These are cans on the regional scene that are putting this guy's lights out. He has the height advantage by 3 inches on Levin, But the reach, it's only an inch and a half of reach difference in his favor. He's not sure he can maybe pop the jab out there, but Chikoli just seems like a monster. But the only thing I'm worried about with Chikoli is he's been submitted one time, while Shahbazyan has won by submission 11 times. Now, keep in mind, like I said, these probably have been cans on the original scene that he's been fed to be propped up. Probably guys that don't even belong in an octagon, let alone putting gloves on, right? And Chikoli's been just chinning guys. I mean, he beat, how many of his last 5 wins has he won by KO? Okay, 2 of his 4 wins in his last 5 come by KO. And then he got KO'd by in between his 2 wins in 2024. He took a long layoff. He came back in May 24th, 2025, and just sparked the guy. Round 2 in the third, 2 minutes into the fight. But the Shahbazyan guy, he seems to be a first round finisher. If Levin could just take this to the second round and just work him and work him and work him, I think he's going to find the finish. But I don't think it's going to even go to a second round. I think Levin's just going to go out there. He's going to do his thing. He's going to send Leon Shahbazyan into the shadow realm. Vicious KO. It's going to be back-to-back finishes on the card. It's going to pick up some momentum. And also, I know the betting lines don't mean anything, especially after this last weekend where Justin Gaethje beat one of the best featherweights, if not one of the best lightweights currently, in Ilia Topuria. But I think the betting lines are not going to betray you. I think Leon Shahbazyan is going to get chinned on live television on Saturday in the Apex by Levin Chikoli. The crowd in the Apex is going to be screaming, and who knows, maybe he might not even get up. You never know this guy. Moving up the card, Gaston Bolanos versus Michael Aswell Jr. Gaston Bolanos versus Michael Aswell Jr. Boy, oh boy, where do I begin? We'll start with the first 5 fights as per usual. Okay. Bolanos is coming off a submission loss to Quan Lei in round 2, and this was in May 2025. And then before that, he fought some guy named Cortavius Romius. I'm pretty sure that guy is named after a Greek or Roman king of some sort. But he beat that guy by decision. And then before that, he got chinned by Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee, very good, a very good fighter. But that was at bantamweight. He's moving up a weight class. These guys are going to hit a little bit harder than Marcus McGee. And I think Michael Aswell is going to put him out, but we're going to get to that in a second. And then before he lost to Marcus McGee, he beat Aaron Phillips by decision. And then some guy named Daniel Carey. Bums on the regional scene. No good wins. Aswell, he's 2-3 in his last 5 fights, but he's gone against killers that he's lost to. He lost to Luke Riley. He lost to He lost to Oki. And then he lost to Bogdan Grad. Now listen, did Bogdan Grad get absolutely chinned in his last fight and embarrassed by said Luke Riley? Yes. But Luke Riley, people forget, man. He trains with Paddy Pimblett. So Bogdan's not a bad fighter. Luke Riley's not a bad fighter. Oki's not a bad fighter. And between the Oki and Luke Riley loss, he beat Lucas Almeida. Let's look at these and the combined record that Aswell has in his last 5 opponents: 57-11, and Bolanos 44-11. So it seems like Aswell's been going against some stiffer competition. Besides the Luke Riley, the Oki, and the Bogdan Grad. These guys have basically the same build. They're both around 5'7", 5'8". Aswell has a 1-inch reach advantage in the height. Oh my god. How is Bolanos going to deal with that? Oh my god. And then They have the same arm reach at 69 inches. I mean, Aswell seems like a decision guy. I mean, 4 of his wins come from decision. 3 of his losses come from decision. His record outside the UFC was 10-2. Bolanos was 6-3. They basically have the same record in the UFC. Bolanos is 2-2. Aswell's 1-1. Both these guys need to win. Well, Aswell definitely needs to win. He might get cut if he loses this. Now, let's go to the stats, because the stats are very important here. Bolanos only throws about 3 strikes per minute, and Aswell throws around 6.6 strikes per minute. Bolanos has really good head movement. He only absorbs around 1 strike per minute, while Aswell is just open to be fucking hit, with 7 strikes absorbed, significant strikes absorbed per minute. But what's important to note is he got into a scrap with Luke Riley, which is an amazing fighter. He's one of the best prospects in that featherweight division, so that's nothing to be ashamed of. But again, Bolanos has this striking accuracy. He has 55%, while Aswell only hits 38% of his shots. But Bolanos hasn't knocked anybody down in his recent fight history, while Aswell's dropped 2. And let's be honest here. He knocked down Luke Riley in the second round of their fight. They didn't want to say it was a knockdown. Oh, God. Luke Riley, he just got dropped by this guy who's like 1-1 in the UFC, and this guy's supposed to be our guy. He didn't get knocked down. He just tripped. No, he got sat on his ass and was lucky to get up as quick as he did. I mean, Bolanos seems to be a grappling guy. I mean, he has 6 minutes of control time. He seems to defend takedowns well. He's defended 7 in his recent history. But, like, Aswell doesn't seem to be a schmuck either when it comes to grappling. He has 3 minutes of control time as well. Now, that could come from reversals, up against the cage, clinching. And also, very important to note, Aswell loves his clinch. He was working Luke Riley really well in that clinch, that whole fight. And the only other thing I can think of is that Bolanos is 33, Aswell's young, he's 25. Bolanos, he's been KO'd once. He's KO'd 6 times. He's KO'd people 6 times. Aswell's never been knocked down. He knocked out 6 guys, never been submitted. His only losses have really come from decisions. And I don't think that Bolanos is going to be able to knock him out, especially with those, 2 strikes per minute? Now, like I said, Aswell is open to be hit, but I just don't think he's going to have the pop in the shots to rock Aswell. Aswell was taking great shots from Luke Riley the whole fight, and he hung in there for a decision. The issue is, I could see this going to a very close decision. People on Instagram are going to be saying, Bolanos won. No, Aswell was robbed. Da-da-da-da-da. I think Michael Aswell is going to get it done by submission. I don't think he's going to chin Bolanos unless he has this unheard power or extremely suspect chin. I think it's going to be a 29-28 split decision win. Michael Aswell, he's going to get back on the horse. If it's not entertaining enough, they're going to cut him from the UFC. They're going to say, get the fuck out of here. Go back to the scene, the regional scene. Your ass. And then if Bolanos loses, they might. I could see them keeping him around. He's from Peru. They don't have a lot of South American prospects. They want to keep him around, I'm guessing. So, yeah. Give me Michael Aswell Jr. via 29-28 split decision. Moving up the card. We got Alan Nascimento versus Mitch Raposo. Okay, I'm going to make a wild prediction here. It's going to be a snooze fest. This is going to be the worst fight on the card, without a doubt, unless these guys both agree to point down the center of the octagon, trading rolling thunders, wheel kicks, hurricane kicks, fucking lead head kick, switch, head kick, body kick, takedown, slam, tombstone. Who gives a fuck? This fight's going to suck. It's going to be awful. I'm going to fall asleep. You're going to fall asleep. We're going to sleep through the next women's fight, and then we're going to wake up. Oh my god, it's Andre Lima. What the fuck happened? Oh my god, he just put out Borjas. Oh my god. No. This fight's going to suck. It's going to be the worst fight you've ever seen since the fucking Dominic Reyes versus fucking Johnny Walker. It's ass. But we got to break it down anyway. Alan Nascimento, his last 5 fights, he's 4-1. Not bad at all. Last win, Cody Durden, second round submission. That was 2025. Before that, he won a decision versus Rafael Filho. But before that, there was a long break. I mean, his last fight before the Rafael fight was in 2023, so I'm guessing he had some kind of injury. Maybe he missed weight. Maybe he had a fight fall through. Who knows? And then in that 2023 match, he submitted Carlos Hernandez, and then before that, he beat Jake Hadley via decision. He lost to Tagir, which, hindsight, not the best loss to have, especially when you see who is fighting him in the main event. Not Tagir, but who beat Tagir in the main event. His combined opponent's record in the last 5, 16-1-13. Not bad. I mean, this is either these guys aren't the best and they're just hanging around the regional scene, or they're not half bad and they're good competition that he's been kind of dominant. Let's see how is he going to show me Jake Hadley? No. Is he going to show me Rafael Filho? No. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's going to show me Filho, actually. Unanimous 29-28. Jake Hadley. Unanimous 30-27. He's been dominating these guys. And he's got a nasty submission game. He has 17 finishes in the UFC, 16 by submission, 1 by KO. Let's be honest, there's not going to be a KO in this fight. Mitch Raposo is going to stink it up. He's going to get booed. He might even get a beer thrown at him in the middle of the octagon, which I would hope. Actually, no, I do not hope that happens because that would be awful, and he would probably be so sad. But what's important to note is Allen is 34, Mitch is 27. Age doesn't really play a big part if you haven't been chinned, which Allen has not been chinned in his whole career. And Mitch Raposo, he hasn't been chinned either. Again, this is not going to be a scrap in the octagon. It's going to be a grappling, either masterclass or snooze fest. But Alan Nascimento has a 5-inch reach advantage on Mitch Raposo, and he's taller than him by 3 inches. Now, is Mitch Raposo going to be a little stocky, short king wrestler? Yeah. He's done that. He did that in his last fight against Azamat Maxim. But I don't think he's going to be able to do it against a Nascimento. I think Nascimento is going to be able to counter grapple really well. He's going to wear down Mitch Raposo. And I think he's going to get submitted in round 3. I think Alan Nascimento is going to submit Mitch Raposo round 3 after Mitch Raposo is gassing on the ground, huffing and puffing. And yeah, I think he's going to absolutely beat the shit out of Mitch Raposo. We didn't even get into Mitch Raposo before I made my prediction. God, I'm just ripping on poor Mitch over here. Let's talk about Mitch Raposo. I did say that he beat Azamat Maxim, but he's 3-2 in his last 5. I mean, he lost to Sud Moregi and Andre Lima. Hindsight, Andre Lima, not the worst loss to have. He beat Justin Valentin. We all love Justin Valentin here. Oh, wait, I think I'm thinking of the other Valentin. Yeah, I'm thinking of the other Valentin. Sorry. But these guys, Mitch and Allen, they've gone against some good competition. Allen's last 5 have a combined record of 16-1-13. Mitch's have a combined record of 45-11. These guys aren't going against like the biggest schmucks on the planet. They're going against some good competition. They've both gone to a lot of decisions. But I think Nascimento's just going to get it done. I think he's just going to submit Mitch Raposo not easily. I think he's going to control the fight. He's going to be winning the fight. What would it be? 2018, going into round 3. It's going to be looking like the same. It's going to be like a Bryce Mitchell masterclass. It's going to be boring the first 2 fights, and then randomly in the middle, or maybe even end of round 3, Alan Nascimento is just going to submit Mitch Raposo, and hopefully this disgusting midget is gone from the UFC, and he can go back to making my fucking deli sandwiches in New Jersey or fucking Philadelphia. I don't know where this fucking guy's from. I hate him. Never come back to the UFC. Moving up the card. Bia Mesquita versus Melissa Mullins. All right, Bia Mesquita versus Melissa Mullins. Oh, 2 bad to the bone women's MMA fighters. I mean, who does this? I mean, Dana White, thank you so much for putting on these badass fights. I mean, we couldn't go without seeing Bia Mesquita and Melissa Mullins. God, these women, they just get me so inspired to watch this sport. I mean, who wants to watch banger men's fights like fucking Horuguchi and fucking Navajo Sterling go against Ion Cutelaba when we got Bia Mesquita and Melissa Mullins? God, bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Anyway, this is going to be, there's a reason the odds are looking this way. Bia Mesquita is going to kill this chick. Bia Mesquita, 5-0 in her last 5. All of them coming by some kind of finish. And Melissa Mullins, 3-2 in her last 5. Not the best luck. But it's important to note, Bia Mesquita has gone against absolute cans in her last couple fights. I watched her last win against Rondon. Rondon looked like she had no idea what she was doing out there. I mean, it was really sad to watch Bia Mesquita just pound this chick's face in and then submit her. And then, I can't speak to the rest of her wins, but her combined opponent's record is 22-10. That's not good. I mean, it seems like she's just been fighting cans. Keep in mind, she's only 7-0, so she doesn't have a lot of people to be going against, but she is 2-0 in the UFC. Both of them have come by finish, both of them by submission. And listen, this is women's bantamweight, which is basically like men's heavyweight, if we're being honest. It's not the most skillful. It's not the most pretty. It's not the most attractive fight styles, if we want to call it that. But when you put against 2 ugly fight styles, one of them's got to look better. And I think Mesquita's is just better. But let's talk about Melissa Mullins here. 3-2. But again, she has a way better combined opponent's combined record, with 34 wins and 5 losses. I mean, she's only gone TKO'd, I believe, 1 time. Yeah, TKO'd 1 time, and that was against, shocker, Nora Cannell. Who is this Nora Cannell? And why is she just chinning every woman on this card who I'm picking against? This is very sad to see. But she bounced back from that fight and KO'd Claudia Segula. And then she followed that amazing performance up with a decision loss against Daria. I think this is the Ukrainian fighter. I can't remember. I don't know how to say her last name, but I believe Russian. Yeah, she lost 29-28 and 30-27 unanimous. I mean, she's not been going against slouches, which is something. I think it's going to be a one-sided beatdown. I think Mullins is going to get taken down and absolutely wrestle-fucked in the first couple minutes. But it's important to know she can grapple back too. She's a crafty vet in the UFC game. She's 2-2, I believe, in the UFC. Hold on. Yeah, 2-2 in the UFC. She's a crafty, bad-to-the-bones vet in the game. It's unbelievable. But Mesquita, she has the edge in the significant strikes per minute. She has a way bigger absorbed strikes per minute. She doesn't even absorb 1 strike per minute. Mullins absorbs 3.5 strikes per minute. And Mesquita, again, has the striking accuracy by 9%, 60-51. Mullins, I'm going to predict this fight to a T. It's going to be like Bia Mesquita's last fight. She's going to be rocking Mullins on the feet. Mullins is going to go for her takedown. She's going to get it. Mosquito's going to somehow get on top. She's going to do some ground and pound, and she's going to submit Melissa Mullins, but not in round one. Mullins, I think I could see like a 10-8 maybe, or dominant 10-9 in round one. Mullins is gassed. She got her ass beat. And then they're going to go back out there. Bia Mosquito's going to come out in round two, crack her, drop her maybe, and she's going to try to go for a TKO finish on the ground. Bia's going to fumble it and get a submission on the ground. Maybe she's going to get rear naked, maybe an armbar. But yeah, I see Melissa Mullins losing via second round submission to Bia Mosquito. The only good thing Mullins has going for her is, hold on, I got to just check something. I mean, they both have they don't really see a decision option. I mean, Mosquito's average fight time is 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Mullins is around 10 minutes. So who knows? Maybe Mullins will do a crafty, bad to the bones performance and wear down Bia Mosquito in round two and somehow win. I don't see that. I think Mullins might try to wrestle her in round one. I swear to God, if Melissa Mullins just shoots in randomly, gets a takedown, and just coasts to a decision with no ground and pound, I'm going to be a little upset. But I think Bia Mosquito is going to just sting her on the feet, have a dominant round one with some ground and pound on the ground, not get the finish, but demoralize Melissa. She's going to get hyped up in the corner. They're speaking in Portuguese. Hold on, Brazil! Hold on, Brazil! Hold on! She's giving up! Go for the submission! And she's going to go out there, sting her again, drop her, submit her. Maybe like a guillotine. Who knows? I could see a guillotine round one, honestly, from a panic shot from Melissa. Anyway, moving on to an actual fun fight. Andre Lima versus Kevin Borjas. Oh boy, Andre Lima versus Kevin Borjas. Andre Lima's going to kill this guy. I think it's not going to be a finish, but I think it's just going to be a one-sided ass whooping. Andre Lima is 5-0 in his last fights. Kevin Borjas is 1-4. He's coming off a loss to Emmanuel Rodriguez. I saw that fight live. He absolutely blundered a finish on Emmanuel Rodriguez. So that means he does have some power in his hands. But I don't think he's going to be good enough to beat Andre Lima. Andre Lima is just on a fucking kill streak. He beat Mitch Raposo by decision. He beat Felipe dos Anjos. He submitted Daniel Barrez in his last fight. And these guys, they've gone against some good competition. This is not like the earlier fights that we've seen where they're gone against people with 2-1 records and beat them in a close decision. No, I mean, Andre Lima's last 5 opponents' records combined 56-9, and Kevin Borjas 61-14. So these records are pretty close. Also, Kevin Borjas, he took Joshua Van to a decision. Just how good is Kevin Borjas, dude? And Alessandro Costa. I'm pretty sure Alejandro Costa is good. I might be confusing him with a different Costa. I'm pretty sure Alessandro Costa isn't a slouch. He beat Ronaldo Rodriguez. Pretty sure that is not a slouch. I might have to look at the profile. If he's a the disgusting rodent, Ronaldo Rodriguez. People forget, man, he was gonna be a next up and comer, and then he lost. Hold on, let me see if this is the right Costa. No, this is not the right Costa. Okay, I got the Costas mixed up. But who gives a fuck? They're all named Costa nowadays. So, maybe that loss isn't as good as I was thinking. Okay. But the Ronaldo Rodriguez, that's a good win to have, kind of. But again, Lima, he just seems like the more dominant, decision-fast guy. Lima has 2 inches on him, only down half an inch of reach on him. He has 5 KOs, 1 submission. Kevin Borjas, 8 KOs, and only been KO'd twice. And he's only been submitted once. But here's what's important. Andre Lima has won 4 of the decisions he's gone to. So all the decisions that he's gone to, he's won. Kevin Borjas has lost and won. He's 2-2 in unanimous decisions. He's never been to a split decision. And I just think, hold on, let me go to the stats. Let's not jump the gun here. Okay, yeah, Borjas is going to die. Lima lands 4 strikes per minute. Hold on. Borjas lands 3.5. Hold on. This is a close one. Oh, nope, never mind. Lima only absorbs around 2.75 strikes per minute. Oh, Borjas absorbs 6.3 significant strikes per minute. Not good. Lima has a huge accuracy advantage, 58% to 14. Borjas, though, hold on. 3 total knockdowns landed. That might be something you want to look at. But, oh, nope, never mind. Andre Lima has had 14 minutes of control time, and Borjas only 3 minutes and 52 seconds. But the issue is Borjas has really good takedown defense. He's defended 15 takedowns, and let me see how long he's been held up against the cage or controlled. If it'll show me. Is it going to show me? Let me see. Yeah, he's been held against the cage for a little bit against this. I mean, if Joshua Van's holding you against the cage or controlling you for a minute, not a good sign. If Renato Rodriguez is controlling you for about a minute, not a good sign. I mean, he was able to control Sudamuraji, but he lost that fight, so who gives a fuck? And then Emmanuel Rodriguez, a young up-and-comer, controls him for 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Andre Lima, he's just going to he's going to have a good fight. I think he's going to take this to a decision. He might submit Borjas. I don't see a submission. It's definitely possible. But I just don't see a submission in the cards. I think it's going to be a 29-28, maybe 30-27 dominant decision for Andre Lima. And then Borjas is going to have to go back to Peru and just ignore that this ever happened and go back to whatever the fuck they do in Peru. Because I don't know what they do in Peru. So, yep. I think Andre Lima via decision. Moving up the card to the first main event fight. Oh my god. It's going to be an execution. It's Vinicius Oliveira versus Andre Touchy-Feely. Let's just hope he doesn't touch children. All right. Vinicius Oliveira versus Andre Touchy-Feely. Let's start with who I think is going to win. Vinicius Oliveira. 4-1 in his last 5 fights, as we all know. He got absolutely humbled. Got served a slice of humble pie by Mr. Mario Bautista, the dark horse of that men's bantamweight division. Unbelievable. Before that, he beat Kyler Phillips. Not a bad win in hindsight. I mean, he just went life and death with Charles Jourdain in Canada. And then before that, he beat Said Nurmagomedov. He beat one of Khabib's guys. Before that, he beat Ricky Simon, a really good kind of gatekeeper. Not really a gatekeeper, but he will beat guys that just aren't good enough to be in the UFC. Basharat. And then before that, he finally got a finish, and that was against Bernardo Sopage. His combined opponent's record in his last 5 fights, 77-16. Not bad. Not bad at all. And oh boy, we got Mr. Feely himself. He got beat by he's 2-3 in his last 5. He got beat by Jose Galdo. He beat Christian Rodriguez, who's also fighting on this card, I believe. He got submitted by Maquazel Costa, just gave up, put his head in a guillotine. Not a good look. He robbed Cub Swanson. I had a 29-28 for Cub. Don't know how they gave that to Touchy-Feely. And then he got chinned by Danny Gay himself. But his last five opponents, their combined record is 89-32. I mean, Vinicius, he's a 30-year-old prospect. Unbelievable. But is he jumping up to featherweight too soon? I know his weight cut Weight cut to bantamweight was not the best, but he's 2 inches shorter than Andre Fili, and he has 3.5 inches of reach less than Mr. Fili himself. Not what you want to see, if I'm being honest. I think I'm still gonna go with Vinicius Oliveira. Uh, Andre Fili's been knocked out 4 times. We don't know how Vinicius' hands are going to look at 145. I think he's going to be a lot more powerful or dominant at 145. I could see like a body shot KO, honestly. I could see Andre Fili getting dropped by a body shot and quitting and then retiring or something. But give him a fucking, what's his name? Oh my god, what was his fucking name? He lost to Nico Price. Give him a Nico Price send off in that UFC Apex. Give him a whole montage. Don't know what you're gonna be able to find on him, if I'm being honest. Fili, I don't think this is gonna go to submission. Oliveira's only submitted 2 guys. He's been submitted once. Fili's been submitted 3 times. He's submitted someone 3 times. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Fili is a crafty vet. Who knows? But Oliveira's used to these long 15-minute fights. I mean, what was it? Yeah, 3 of his last 5 ended a decision. He's used to 15 minutes. He's used to the Apex. The Apex is his second home, they're saying. They're saying he might even be home. He does look like a homeless drug addict who just stumbles into the UFC Apex. Sometimes he wins. Sometimes he gets his ass whooped by the GOAT, Mario Bautista. But let's look into the stats. Let's not just go based off of looks. Because if we're going based off of looks, fucking Marvin Vettori would be the fucking middleweight champion. Alright. Vinicius Oliveira, he lands around 4.5 strikes per minute. Andre Fili lands about 4. But fucking Fili absorbed about like 5.3 strikes per minute. And this is significant strikes, not just tippy-tappy shots. And Vinicius, he absorbs around like 2.9 significant strikes a minute. I mean, they have very close striking accuracies. Vinicius has the edge. His striking accuracy is 43. Fili's is 39. Vinicius, he's gotten 2 total knockdowns, and Andre Fili, it's saying 0. I think this is going based off its last 5. Yeah, last 5 fights. I think that was important to say in the past breakdowns, but who gives a fuck? Honestly, who gives a shit? In his last 5 fights, Oliveira's gone 13 minutes of control time. Fili's has gone 6. No, let's say 7 minutes. I mean, 6 minutes 55 seconds. Let's just say he's gone 7 minutes of control time. He shot a lot of takedowns. Fili shot 10 takedowns. He's defended 11. Vinicius has shot 7. He's defended 25. This is going to be a stand-up battle. I think he's going to dominate Andre Fili to 30-27. Unanimous decision. I think Andre Fili's going to lay the gloves down maybe, or he's going to keep going to be win one, lose one up until he gets shinned by like, I don't even know, some really good rising up and comer at featherweight. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I'm not seeing. I wouldn't mind putting money on Fili. I wouldn't put my money on Fili. But yeah, I think it's just like we don't know how good Vinicius is gonna look at featherweight. I think he's gonna look good. I could see him chinning Andre Fili, if I'm being honest, but I don't know. I think it's just going to be a decision. I think Fili's going to be able to tough it out, and he's going to take it to a decision, I reckon. All right. That's it. So, yeah, Vinicius Oliveira via decision, 29-28, unanimous, maybe even 30-27. Moving up the card, we got Melizik Bagdasaryan versus Murdazali. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Murdazali Magomedov. Melizik Bagdasaryan versus Magomedov. Give me. This is gonna be a controversial pick. Give me Magomedov. Oh god, yeah, it's a hard pick. Could have gone either way. No, I'm kidding. Magomedov's gonna knock out Bagdasaryan in round 2 viciously. He's going to go on the mic. He's going to speak some language that no one understands. They're going to have to get a translator. He's probably going to call out another easy opponent and win. But we still got to go over this. Bagdasarian, his last fight was in February 2025. He got absolutely chinned. He got blown off his feet by Jean Silva, which is actually a pretty good loss to have, but that was in round 1. So, not the best look, but still, it's not something you should be too embarrassed about. For that, he beat Tucker Lutz in a decision, and then he got submitted, and then he beat Bruno Souza by a decision, and he beat Colin Angelin by TKO in round 2. And that makes him 3-2 in his last 5, while Magomedov is 5-0. He beat Zurcher by TKO, Burrito by TKO, and that is not Joe Anderson, that is Clauducci Burrito. He beat Sardor, I'm not even going to attempt that last name, by submission, and he beat some other guys by submission, sorry. Bagdasarian's been going against some tough competition. The combined record of his last 5 opponents is 54-8. And Magomedov, the last 5 opponents, their records combined to 42-16. But Magomedov undefeated 10-0. This is his UFC debut. They're giving him a pretty tough opponent for his debut. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they would give him a little bit of an easier opponent. But Magomedov is young. He's 26. Malizik is 34. An unranked 34-year-old getting laid up to get executed. They're the same height, around the same reach. Magomedov has half an inch of advantage. And he's finished all of his fights, 5 of them by KO, 5 of them by submission. Bagdasarian's been submitted twice, only KO'd once, and that was by Jean Silva. So, actually, maybe I might go with, nah. Give me, I don't know. Hold on, let's go to the stats. Okay, in the last 5 fights, it's going to be a submission. Okay, it's going to be a submission win for Magomedov. Bagdasarian, he throws about 5.5 strikes per minute and a whopping 0.27 for Magomedov. Bagdasarian absorbs around 2.93 strikes per minute. Magomedov, best defensive stand-up we've ever seen. He absorbs 0.09 significant strikes per minute. Who does that? Bagdasarian has a pretty good accuracy advantage. He has a 50% accuracy, and Magomedov has a 41% accuracy. They each in their last 5 fights have a knockdown apiece. Magomedov, though, 2 seconds of control time in his last 5 fights. I don't know how that works, if I'm being honest. Because it literally says he's submitted people in round 2. Yeah, these stats for control time for him don't add up. It says he has 2 seconds of control time, but he has 3 submissions. Maybe someone tapped before he could even get a submission. Who knows? Bagdasarian has 2 minutes of control time in his last 5, and he's defended 10 takedowns in that time. Again, for some reason, it says Magomedov hasn't shot a takedown. Or landed one, in his last 5. I don't believe that. The cage time. Melizik, he's been to decisions. He's been to 2 decisions in his last 5 fights. Magomedov never been to a decision. That being said, I think he's going to submit Melizik pretty easily in round 2, just like how Josh Kulabau did Melizik Bagdasarian. It's not going to be the most fun watch, I think. I think it's going to it might have some fun fights, or fun moments, on the feet. But I think Magomedov's going to shoot the takedown, take him down. Maybe he might score 10-8 in that first round. I think it's gonna be a 10-8 round for Magomedov, and then in round two, it's gonna be something the same. Back to Aaron's gonna kind of give up on the ground, and that's when Magomedov is gonna swoop in, get the submission, make him tap, and he will go to 11-0. Moving on to the next fight, Hyder Emil versus Christian Rodriguez. Hyder Emil versus Christian Rodriguez. Oh, I don't know. I'm not excited for this one. I can't lie. It just feels like a nothing fight, if I'm being honest. It feels like they're just trying to find a fight to make this a full Apex fight card, and they're like, oh, Hyder Emil's good to go, and Christian Rodriguez, he thinks he's ready to go after getting his ass beat by Andre Fili. Yeah, sure, let's get these guys back in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, both these guys, Hyder Emil and Christian Rodriguez, coming off 2 back-to-back losses. And I'm not going to lie, the only reason I'm picking Christian Rodriguez is because Hyder Emil got chinned by Jose Delgado in 26 seconds. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that's mainly the only reason I'm picking him. Well, let's break this down. Hyder Emil, 3-2 in his last 5. His last loss was to Jamal Emmers. He got absolutely destroyed by Jamal Emmers. I remember this fight. He got controlled, beaten up, and lost. Christian Rodriguez, lost to Andre Fili via decision. I have Fili losing this card. But before that, he lost to Mademoiselle Costa, which is not a bad loss to have as well. But then, after he beat Austin Bashi, he lost to Julian Erosa, who is now known as the worst fighter I've ever seen. And that is behind Nico Price, the Dodo Bird himself. But yeah, so Hyder Emil combined a record of his last 5 opponents, 65-16. Christian Rodriguez, 94-30. So he's going against some guys with some good experience. They both have they're both not going against super cans, but they're not going against tough guys. So they're not going against crafty vets yet. Let's look at his tail for tape. Hyder Emil's 36 years of age. Rodriguez is 28. He's the young guy. He's shorter by 2 inches, but he has an inch and a half for arm reach against Hyder Emil. I mean, both these guys, I hate to disrespect the fighters, but they amount to nothing in the UFC. If both these guys got cut after their fights, it would not change the men's featherweight division. It would not change the layout, would not change the matchups, would not change anything. Both these guys could be cut and no one would even notice. I mean, Hyder Emil, he's a KO guy. He's got 6 KOs. He's only KO'd once. Rodriguez, he has 3 KOs, but he's mainly a submission guy. He has submitted 4 of his opponents, but submitted once. Hyder Emil, people forget, man, he has a submission win, and he has not been submitted. But what I think it comes down to is Christian Rodriguez is 5-3 in decisions, and Hyder Emil is 4-1 in decisions. And I gotta be honest. Hold on, before I make my final point, let's go to the stats. Hyder Emil, 5.35 significant strikes per minute. Rodriguez, 420. I mean, the photo on the UFC page makes it look like he is a pot addict. So who knows? Maybe he did that so he could honor 420 and smoke some weed. Who knows? Hyder Emil, he only absorbs around 4.25 strikes per minute in his last 5. Rodriguez about 3.22 strikes in his last 5 that he's absorbed per minute. They have about a dead even accuracy. Hyder Emil has a 52%. Rodriguez has a 54%. But the game changer is the control time in these last 5 matches. Hyder Emil, 3 minutes. Christian Rodriguez, 15 minutes and 21 seconds. He's landed 9 takedowns. He's defended 27. He's gone for 3 submission attempts in his last 5. Hyder Emil has landed 1 takedown, defended 5, and no submission attempts. I think it's just going to be. I think he's going to coast. I think Rodriguez is going to coast. Sorry, not concoast. He's going to coast to a pretty boring decision against Hyder Emil. I could honestly see both these guys getting cut. One, because Emil is on a 3-loss streak and no one gives a fuck about him. And because Rodriguez is a boring fuck who just was on a 2-loss streak and then he won a shit decision. That's how I see these guys' careers going in the UFC, is they get cut after this fight, which I would not mind in the slightest if I'm being honest, because who gives a fuck about these guys? This is going to be not the worst fight. The worst fight still goes to, hold on, what did I say the worst fight was? Mitch Raposa. I think I said Mitch Raposa versus Alan Nascimento is going to be the worst fight. I stand by that, but this is going to be a close second place. Let's move up the card to an actual fun fight. Ion Cutelaba versus Navajo Sterling. All right, let's break this down. We got Ion Cutelaba 3-2 in his last 5, and we got Navajo Sterling 5-0 in his last fight. Let's start with Cutelaba. Cutelaba, he got a submission over Umar Sy. Who does that to Umar Sy? Submits him in the first round. Unbelievable. He loses a pretty close decision to Modestas Bukauskas in May 2025. Before that, he beat Ibo Aslan, and then Ivan Ursulan, and then his only other loss in his last 5 was Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins, not a bad loss to have at all, if I'm being honest. Now let's move to Navajo Sterling. KO's Bruno Lopez in Seattle on March 28th. I don't know if I'm misremembering this, but he didn't look the best in that fight. He didn't look bad. Maybe I just thought he was going to get his opponent out there way sooner. But before that, he took Rodolfo Bellato to a decision. That's disgusting. Rodolfo Bellato is the worst UFC fighter at light heavyweight that I've seen in a long time. Then he beat Ivan Ursulan. He's just picking up fucking Cutelaba's sloppy seconds, it seems, but they both beat him by decision. So people are saying this is going to be a one-sided beatdown for Navajo. He's at minus 320 on this UFC page. And on Verdict MMA, I'm not sponsored by them, and this is not an ad. They don't have the betting lines yet, but I believe they gave Navajo a pretty good chance. And then before he beat Ivan Ursulan, he beat Turco Tokas and then Philip Latu. In his last 5, only 2 of them have been by KO, and Bruno Lopez looked like dog shit, and I don't even know who Philip Latu is. The mythical Philip Latu. The combined record of their last 5 opponents, Cutelaba 74-16. That's 82%, and then Navajo Sterling 56 wins and 13 losses. It just seems like Cutelaba's either going against guys who've been in the game longer or who are just better than Navajo's opponents, which is not a bad. I'm not gonna blame it on Navajo. Navajo's a young guy. When did he get into the UFC? He got into the UFC in 2024. And they've been taking him slow up through the rankings. They gave him 10-4 Tuco Tokas, 14-4 Ivan Ursulan, 12-1 Rodolfo Bellato, and they finally gave him a step up with Bruno Lopez, but he did not look the best. I know he won via KO, and Bruno looked silly, but honestly, he just wasn't that impressive in round 1, in my opinion. And I just don't know if he's going to be that good against a Cutelaba. Well, let's go to the stats here. Cutelaba, he lands about 3.4 significant strikes per minute, while Navajo lands around 6.05 strikes per minute. Navajo is also way better at dodging these shots. Navajo only absorbs around 2.7 significant strikes, while Cutelaba not as much, but 3.25 significant strikes landed per minute or absorbed per minute. Finally, I pronounced that word correctly. And they have about an even accuracy. Kudalaba has a 45% striking accuracy, while Navajo has about 50%. And Sterling in his last 5 fights have 2 total knockdowns landed. So that's not bad at all. They have about the same they have about an equal control time as well. Kudalaba 8 minutes and 9 seconds of control time to Sterling's 9 minutes and 20 seconds. But Kudalaba has landed more takedowns in these last 5 than Sterling, 6-4. Sterling's defended way more. Kudalaba's only had to defend 7, while Sterling's only has defended 21. But Kudalaba, he's a submission guy. People forget, man. He has 2 total submission attempts in his last 5, and Navajo has 0. Okay. That's the stats. Let's look at the tail of the tape. They're close in age. Kudalaba only 32. Navajo 28. Now, the biggest factor of this match, which I guarantee you people are betting on Navajo for, is the height and the reach. Kudalaba is 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Navajo 6'4" with a 79-inch reach. Is it going to be hard for Kudalaba to close the distance? Yes. Do I think he can do it? Yes. He's gone against amazing strikers, and I don't see Navajo really shooting takedowns on him, especially if Kudalaba takes him to deep waters, which I think he will. I think he's going to take Navajo deep, pause, no diddy, and Navajo might break against the cage, might be an early stoppage TKO for Kudalaba. But I think Kudalaba is going to get it done because, he has 13 KOs. He's only been KO'd 3 times. He's been submitted 4 times, but he's also got 4 submissions. And he's at 5-5 of decision. I don't think this guy's going to go to a decision. Never mind. I think he's going to TKO Navajo, honestly. I think he's going to get a round 3 KO on Navajo Sterling. He's going to break Navajo badly. It's going to be sad to see this young guy loses 0, but Ion Kudalaba is going to go up to 21-11-1, and Navajo is going to be 9-0. 9-1. Sorry, it's 9-1. Moving on. That was the coming event. Let's move on to the main event, which is Manel Kape versus Kyoji Horuguchi. The main event and arguably the fight of the night, Manel Kape versus Kyoji the Gooch Horuguchi. As per usual, we gotta start with the man himself, Manel Kape. 4-1 in his last 5. Honestly, okay, this is a hot take. Muhammad Mokaev is not a bad loss to have. Muhammad Mokaev is probably one of the most dominant wrestlers we've seen in the fights that he had at men's flyweight in UFC history. He was just taking guys down, out-wrestling them, out-motivating, out-controlling, just absolutely masterclassing these guys on the ground. He wasn't the most fun to watch. He was starting shit backstage, but he was really fucking good at wrestling. And for Manel Kape, who's mainly a striker, to lose against that guy, that's not a bad thing at all, if I'm being honest. Not something we can discredit him on. And the win since then, he beat Bruno Silva. If I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know who he was until he fought Manel Kape. And then he beat Azu Almabazayev via round 3 KO. Much more impressive. But the thing is with these guys, sometimes you gotta say but. Manel Kape did eye poke him in the finishing sequence or right before the finishing sequence. Would he have finished Azu if he didn't eye poke him? Maybe. Probably. But who knows? He did eye poke him. What was that, a 5-rounder? I believe that was going to be a 5-round fight. Let me see. Was that a 5-rounder? They're not telling me. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it was going to be a 5 rounder, and he was already hurting Azu. I think he would have eventually got him, but the eye pokes just kind of sway me in a different negative way. I can't really put a lot of stock into that if he only finished him. Well, not only finished him, but if part of the finishing sequence was because of an eye poke. I'm not going to rate that too highly. Uh, and then after that one, he went out there and just completely bodied Brandon Royval. But again, this is a Brandon Royval who just was in a 3 round scrap with now flyweight champion with a title defense to his name, Joshua Van. Can you rate that super highly? Who knows? I kind of do. I rate it pretty well. I'm pretty sure Manel came into the fight with Gaino. That could have been a previous fight. But if my memory serves me correctly, I think he went into that fight with some Gaino boob. So again, I don't know if I can rate that. I don't know this guy. He's very talented. But I don't know if I can pick him. Because it seems every time he wins, there's some kind of like underlying reason. He's kind of like a Gon of this flyweight division. He looks good, and then something happens. He fouled him. He has a boob hanging off his chest. He went against an old man, Brandon Royval, who was just in a 3 round scrap with the flyweight champion. And isn't Van like fucking top 10 pound for pound right now? Yeah. I don't know if Brandon Royval is the best when if you look into the context. Let's move on to Horiguchi. Horuguchi 5-0 in his last 5. He went out there. He battered Amir Albazi 30-27. Or was it 50-45? I don't remember if it was a 5 rounder he had or if it was, I think it was a 3 rounder. But he bodied him. He went out there, embarrassed Tagir Ulanbekov. Before that, he went against some guys outside of the UFC, Sergio Pettis, Makoto Takahashi. He submitted Makoto, went to decision of Sergio, but then he submitted to Gear and he beat Albazi by decision. I mean, in their last 5 opponents, Kape's combined record is 70-15, not bad at all. But Horiguchi mogs him, 89 wins to 17 losses for his opponents. Last 5 opponents combined record. That is a super good look for Horiguchi. It shows he's going against tough competition, good competition, and he's staying active against most of these guys, it looks like. Because when he submitted Makoto in December 2023, he got back in there in June against Sergio. That same year, he beat Zulu in late December in 2024. Took a time off, came back to the UFC, beat Tagir in 2025, and then he beat Amir Albazi just a couple months later in February. But Manel Kape also very, 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 very active. You gotta respect it. Let's look at this tail of the tape here. Only a 3-year difference. Manel Kape 32, Horiguchi 35. Kape's only got an inch on him. Kape's 5'5", Horiguchi 5'4". Now, what's going to factor into this match the most, in my opinion, is the reach. Manel Kape, 68 inches of reach. Horiguchi, 63 inches of reach. That's 5 inches. That's going to be tough for Horiguchi to cross, but I think he's going to be able to do it. Manel Kape, he has 19 finishes, only been finished twice. 14 of those came from KO. He's been submitted twice, but he also has 5 submissions under his belt. Horiguchi, 21 finishes, only been finished 3 times. 2 of them by KO and 1 of them by submission. But he has 15 KO wins and 6 submission wins. And he's very reliable in these decisions. He's 15-2 in these unanimous decisions. Manel Kape can't be farther from the truth. He's 3-3 in unanimous decisions, 0-2 in split decisions. And let's look at these stats here. Horiguchi mogs him in these last 5 fights. Manel Kape wins about 5.6 significant strikes per minute. Horiguchi 11. Kape, he absorbs a way less strikes than Horiguchi. He absorbs only 4.22 strikes absorbed per minute. Horiguchi 7. That is not good. We can not be having that if you're going against a power puncher like a Manel Kape. Let's see if Horiguchi was able to kind of correct that going into this fight camp. I think we're going to see Horiguchi wrestle some more, if I'm being honest. Manel Kape held down by Muhammad Mukayev for 5 rounds and made into a bitch. They couldn't do anything. I think Horiguchi, he's just going to pressure, jab, or slip into the pocket. Shoot a perfectly timed takedown. Or if he feints a takedown, then he can let those hands in the pocket go. But let's look at the striking accuracy. Manel Kape has a huge advantage in the striking accuracy. 60% for Manel, 45% for Horiguchi. These two knock their opponents down a lot. In the last 5 fights, Manel Kape has knocked down his opponents 3 times total. Horiguchi 4. Control time. Manel Kape, not the best grappler. Like I said, last 5 fights, only about like a minute and 25 seconds of control time, but that doesn't matter. He's a power puncher. Horiguchi, he's got 13 minutes and around 50 seconds. That's important. He's a wrestler through and through. He mixes the martial arts so well. Okay. Manel Kape, he's only landed 1 takedown. Horiguchi, 7. Manel Kape has defended 21 takedowns in his last 5. Horiguchi, 24. And Horiguchi has the 1 submission attempt over Manel Kape, because Manel Kape has not gone for a submission attempt in his last 5. I think Horiguchi, what he's got to do is he can't stay at range with Manel. He's got to crash in, get a couple shots off, shoot a takedown. I don't care if he gets his takedown stuffed and they're up against the cage, stay active in the clinch. Knee, up, shots to the head, knee to the body, uppercut to the body, hook to the body. Try to maybe even trip Manel Kape. Look, Manel Kape is very takedownable. He can be taken down. This is not like a Sean Strickland where it's pretty hard to hold him down and keep him there. It's not going to be hard to take down Manel Kape from what I've seen and keep him there. That's what Horiguchi's got to do. He's got to crash in, land a couple shots, shoot a takedown. If he doesn't get it, try to trip or work in the clinch. Manel Kape, what he's got to do is he's got to pepper that jab. He's got to do 1, 2. Extended combinations is what's going to win him this fight. Calf kick Horiguchi. Make it so he can't rush into the pocket and crash in and get said takedowns or clinch positions. He's got to keep that. He could go after. He could pressure Horiguchi here. It's completely possible. I think I could see Horiguchi kind of break into the forward pressure a little bit. But I just think he has the momentum. He has more moment. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like his wins have been more dominant and more kind of like, oh, this guy's really he's gonna be something. Like he couldn't win the title. No, Kape, he's just kind of there. You know, we saw the same thing with Kai Kara-France. Nobody thought this guy's going to be the next champion. And then he gets humbled by Pantoja. I don't think Manel Kape's going to make it to a Pantoja. I think he's going to lose to a Horiguchi here in a 5-round fight. If it was a 3-rounder, I think Manel Kape has a way better chance. But I think if Kyoji can make it to rounds 4 and 5, that's where he's going to take it. But yeah, those have been my predictions for the UFC Apex fights, Horiguchi versus Manel Kape. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Maybe even